It's Nicole, aka Nikki with Steps in Life. I got my tea. You see? Boss lady. Can you see that? Yep. Boss lady. I just thought of Erykah Badu, but just changed it to boss. Okay, let's get into it. So today, we're gonna have Sis with Nikki. We're gonna do a video about friendships and setting expectations. So here's the thing. Okay, wait. I gotta think about it. Because this is about to be good. And what we're going to talk about today is friendships and setting expectations. So let's keep it real, because that's the only way I know how to be. You know what I mean? So how many times you have friends and you ask them to do something, they say, yeah, I got you. And then when it's time to show up, some of them are able to support you the way that you needed to be supported, do what you asked them to do. And then some of them just don't perform the way you need it to be done. So oftentimes we expect people to do certain things that they don't even expect from themselves to get done. So let's break that down. Let's use something that I hope that we all, can see eye to eye on. How many times have we had family events and you set it for 3 o'clock and you have that one auntie that shows up at 9, even though in the invitation you said 3 to 10? And then when they show up at 9, the whole thing's basically done and you're starting to do cleanup. And West Indians, we have that too. I think it's a little bit worse than CP time. But the truth of the matter is don't expect someone that always shows up to your events late to be there on time or early to help you set up. So think of your friendships the same way. If you know one of your friends is not good to have that shoulder to cry on or to vent to because they just don't have that emotional gene, don't waste your time expecting that from that person or getting upset when they don't give you that moment that you need to release it. They don't know how. And they told you they don't know how. So the only person that's leaving with the panties in a bunch is you, because you expected something from that friend when they already told you over and over again that they are not good for it. And the only person that's upset is you. And the only person you can blame at the end of the day is yourself. Because if someone always shows you who they are, why is it that you may choose that you have the power to change? And let's break that down. If someone doesn't have an expectation that's up to here, and they already have the expectations up to here, if they don't want to move it up, nothing you do or say is going to move it. You may go like this. You know what I mean? But it's not going to meet up here. So it's the same thing when it comes to expecting someone to be your ride or die if you need to go do something, or you want to start a business and you don't have that support. Don't look for things from people when they don't even have it with them themselves. And it's the same thing in your relationships. If you have your little boo thing, if you don't know how to love yourselves, how can you expect your significant other to know how to treat you and how to love you? Because in your mind, you may only have it set to what you think you may want, but no one comes with the manual. Because if we did, let me tell you, I'll be reading everyone's manual so that way I can figure out what I want to do, how I want to move, and where I want them to be placed at. But we don't get that. So you have to really come into terms and really understand yourself and make sure that your baggage from whatever experiences that you had going on, past trauma that you may have not addressed, make sure it's not showing up in different areas and ruining your friendships because of stuff that you have going on that you didn't address. For example, some of us may have some daddy issues. I know I had them at one point. But because of that, it made me naturally, as a child, even as a teenager, not want to depend on people. But as I gotten older, the truth is that the actions of one person does not define everyone else around me. And if you flip it, the way that I move does not automatically assume that everyone else that's around me is going to move exactly like me. We weren't created to be alike. We were created to be different. And the way that you're able to use those people in the way of your friendships, to use them for the gifts and the tools that they have, is to accept them for where they stand and know what to ask them for. That's how you're able to have genuine relationships with people. That's how you're able to build stronger friendships with people, because you get a chance of accepting them who they are. They get a chance to accept you for who you are. And then you're able to find some type of union, some type of bond, and just have a mutual understanding. And you know, after you get to that point, okay, I know I can ask this friend for this, but I know I can't ask my second friend for this one. And when you start really looking and analyzing people and accepting them for that, your life will move a lot smoother, because you're not expecting people to treat you the way that you want to be treated. Now, here's the thing, just breaking that down. I'm not saying go out and treat people all willy-nilly. What I'm saying is you still want to carry yourself with respect. If you know how to control your temper and not fly off the rocker, everyone else is not like that. And the better that you know who you have around you is the way you're able to know how to move around when things go left or when you want them to go right. But it all boils down to accepting the expectations that they set for themselves and then acknowledging that. Because some people have high expectations, some have low. And when it boils down to it, if they're not ready to change it, you can have it, they can have it like this. And you may be able to give them some advice, and it may go like this, even though yours is still way up here. You get what I mean? So if you accept it from here, let them surprise you. You tell them, okay, boo, I need you to do this, and they jump up here. They may go back down here on Friday, but let them show you what they can do, and know that, okay, that's something that they may be changing. But if you start them from here, and it does go left, then guess what? All this room below it is still room for you to be upset about. And the only person you can be mad at is yourself, because you did it to yourself. You can't blame no one else for that. So that's what I'm saying. Accept people for where they are. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with them. And I promise you'll start seeing a difference in your friendships. But don't set them up for failure. Don't do it. Because I'll be honest with you, it's just unnecessary stress. It's unnecessary disappointment. And it's just not worth it. And if you catch yourself being upset all the time, it may not be them. It may be you. Because let me tell you, there's a lot of times that you don't realize how much your past is in your present. But when you take that mirror and really look at yourself and dig deep, and that's what I'm good at, and that's what I could definitely help you with, is learning how to understand how your stuff that you have went through, even the stuff you may not have done well in, still defines you as who you are today. But the way that you become a better version of yourself is taking those lessons and those past experiences and learning from them. And oftentimes, we have so much stuff from our past that they helped us in that moment, but they no longer help us anymore. Like, for example, we can have it where your parents tell you stranger danger and you don't want to talk to strangers anymore because all strangers are scary. Now, granted, that works as a kid. You know what I mean? But as an adult, we ain't got time for that. We need to network, we need to socialize, we need to get out there. So that rule that we made up to protect ourselves does not help us anymore. It hinders you. It doesn't help you move forward, doesn't help you develop. So my goal as a life coach is to get you there so you can reflect, learn how to break it down, learn how to change it, get your lessons from it, and create a better version of yourself. Because we should all strive to be great, but also acknowledge that we're all a work in progress. No one's perfect. And when you set those expectations, your friends aren't perfect either. We all got shit going on in our lives. You know what I mean? So you just have to be honest, just be transparent. And then, like I said, let them tell you what they can and can't do, and don't get upset. And when you start doing that, you'll start seeing changes. You start seeing people grow in different ways. You start seeing yourself not being and sitting in disappointment on a regular basis, and you'll get to a point where you can learn to trust people to show up. You're asking the right people to do that. When you start having the right people around you, things start moving a lot easier. And you may not realize how cloudy your stuff is right now because you haven't had time to really sit there and clean it. And that's what I'm here for, and that's what we're going to start at. So the next video I'm going to do, go into communication and the importance of it, and how even the lack of communication can either hurt or help your situation, and we'll come up with scenarios to help you get there. But that's all for today. Thank you for tuning in with Sips and Nikki. Today it's only tea. We'll see what happens next week. And don't forget to like, comment. I will have all the links in the bottom, and my social media handles all have the company name of Steps in Life. Thank you for tuning in, and have a wonderful day. Boss lady.